once again, everybody, thanks for listening to AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, as always, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors that help us bring the show to you for free each and every week. Firstly, thanks to Angelo's Pizza. They're feeding us here as they always do while we record, and they, of course, bring pizza to you at our live events at Mount Carmel. If you want to try more of their pizza or anything else on their menu, it's all delicious. Head to Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. And thanks to Smart Mark Video, they record all of our live events. And if you want to relive any of those or watch them for the first time, you can purchase that on DVD or digital download from smartmarkvideo.com. And additionally, head to powerbomb.tv, sign up using the code ABSOLUTE, and you will get a 20-day trial for free, and then stick around and just keep watching the shows that we put out there from the AIW archives. And as always, thanks to Jack Prince, who helps take care of all of our printing and graphic design needs. They can do all of that and more for you, whether it be banners, t-shirts, business cards, flyers, everything and anything. For all that they have to offer, head to jackprince.com.
jakprince.com.
All right, that voice you heard right there, none other than WES Wes Barkley.
Yes, sir.
He's joining the show.
Making his debut coming up soon.
Yes,
Maserati
sir.
Wiz S.
Yes, sir.
We are also joined by Alex Worldwide, Kellar, and AIW owner John Thorne. My name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts, and on this episode, we owe it to you guys, especially after we gave you the health update, where that all potentially stemmed from.
Definitely stemmed from.
This
100%.
is your WrestleMania
The voodoo curse.
weekend recap right here, and what went down, or maybe didn't go down, or allegedly went down in New Orleans.
Lots went down with Worldwide.
There's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to name names, but
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can't be named of names.
Let's talk about the very beginning, because Thorne, you were first to arrive with Wes Barkley here
And Josh
Bishop.
We almost missed the flight.
You guys almost
Started
missed the
off
flight.
crazy, yeah.
Well, our flight was like delayed like 3 hours.
Okay.
And then we had a connection in which that's what we almost missed. We had to run from like
40-yard dash to the airport.
it's like Home Alone 2 style. They're like shutting the door as we're running up. Thankfully, like I guess they waited like 10 minutes for us because we landed and then like the plane just wasn't like parking or whatever the fuck a plane does.
Yeah.
And then we've just made it. And we arrived on Wednesday. And
So this is something that we talked about in the preview. You guys were going to arrive like really late at night,
and have nothing to do.
and
like
you can't
nowhere
check
to
in
go.
until 3 o'clock.
3 p.m. And I double checked with the Airbnb. They're like 3 p.m. So we start like trying to think like logically, like shit, like that's a long time to survive in a place we don't know anything about.
Right. And we had our bags,
And we had our bags and stuff. So I book a hotel on Priceline for $60. We take a cab to this hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
And like they're just filming Total Divas in the fucking lobby, and we're like, what the fuck is what is going on? It's like we just walk in and like on cameras of like Lana and Paige and Nia Jax and like
they were boozed up too. Just stumbling in.
yeah. And they were obviously just coming back from Bourbon Street or something.
Right.
And then we're like, okay, this is a pretty nice hotel. This is weird. And then like take an escalator up to like you got to take an escalator up to the fucking to get to the like the tower or whatever to get to your room. And literally, as soon as we get to the top of the escalator, the entire WWE roster is just sitting in the hotel bar area. And it was like, what the fuck did we just walk into? It was.
Did you start to question if you went into the right hotel?
Well, no, I knew I was in the right hotel because I checked in.
Oh,
like,
okay. This is after you checked in.
Yeah, I was like, this is pretty nice for $60.
Yeah.
And we're splitting it 3 ways too, so that's a hell of a deal.
hell of a deal.
So like it's the most bizarre feeling in the world when you like are just like you get off an escalator and literally every WWE wrestler, they're just there. So it's like, oh man, this is kind of weird because like I definitely know some of these people. So like let's try to just sneak by and get to our room because like I don't know. It just made you look like it just looked weird. You know what I mean? Like we're just rolling into this obviously WWE hotel at this point. And of course I make it about 5 feet before people started yelling my name and asking like, you know, how, like, what am I doing or whatever. And like, you know, come over here, and like Hornswoggle's in there and Kurt Hawkins and all kinds of people. Yeah. And I was like, this is where we're staying. They're like, that's really expensive. Like, no, it's $60 right now. And the thing that's funny is fucking Grado ends up doing the same exact thing, totally just like us. Has no idea. He books a room on Priceline because he was going to room with Colt Cabana, you know, like Friday through Monday or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but he was coming in on Wednesday night too. So he's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm just going to look on Priceline. So he does the same thing, winds up at the same exact hotel because it was the first hotel that popped up.
Okay.
And he walks up and he's like, what the fuck? He's like, we look like fucking marks, man. Like, what's going on? And I was like, dude, I don't know. I just booked a room on Priceline. He's like, me too. I didn't know all these fucking people were going to be here. And so it was like kind of awkward at first. But then we just, you know, we go drop our bags off and then we're like, fuck it, let's just go to the bar.
So, yeah, the bar was like closing down. So
The hotel bar.
Yeah, the hotel bar was closing down. And I thought they would be open till like 3 or whatever, but this was probably like a 1 a.m.
Yeah, because we landed at like midnight and then...
And we were drinking on the plane, so we had a little buzz going, which was good. But
yeah, of course we were drinking on the plane.
Imagine
which
that.
saved us. Yeah. So, yeah, we got a drink there, but... It was still an experience for sure.
Yeah, because it was just like...
Well, we had like Swoggle and Hawkins, and like Hero was...
Yeah, Chris Hero was there and like all kinds of people. And then like less publicized than Ronda Rousey's husband, Alicia Fox does nearly the exact same thing and to us that goes around in that video that's released to TMZ. So I don't know. She must have been having a bad day or something. Like she literally starts like pushing me and like asking me who the fuck I am and what the fuck I'm doing there. And it was like very overwhelming experience because you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And you know, she's obviously been drinking and like, I'm like, what is this girl? Like, is she trying to like draw attention to like get somebody to like punch me or something? Like, she's like, who the fuck do you know here? Get the fuck out of here. I don't fucking want you here. She's like pushing me. She's pushing Josh. She's pushing Wes.
Yeah, that was intense.
It was very uncomfortable. And then like, she's like, name one person you know right now. And like Kurt Hawkins was like 2 feet away. I was like, Kurt Hawkins. She's like, do you know him? He's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, okay, you can stay then.
So weird.
Hawkins with the connect.
You can only... I guess you can only imagine that there have probably been issues in the past.
There were fans around though. Like, you know, the fans were like hanging around.
Yeah.
Was Brock Lesnar a fan there?
Rough day for her.
No, I saw Frank the Clown though.
Yeah, with Noel.
Yeah.
There you go. So
anyway, like Grado gets there and we're talking and we're like, fuck, this bar's closed, you know? And we're like, Grado, let's go to Bourbon Street. We've never been to Bourbon Street. And like, he's like, no, man. And Jeff Hardy's like, Bourbon Street, let's go, guys. Yeah. And we're like, what?
He's ready.
We're like, what? He's like, yeah, let's go. And like, never met this guy in my life. Just gives me a hug. And he's like, I'll go to Bourbon Street with you guys. Fuck it.
So we get the Uber.
So we get the Uber, and it's like so awkward.
We're going downstairs, and he goes,
Jeff Hardy's ready to live in the moment.
Yeah. He goes, I got to go to the bathroom. We're like, okay, he's gonna peel off. Goes to the bathroom, comes right out, and
He's like,
like,
is it right here? Let's go.
We ready? So.
And it was like an uncomfortable 10-minute Uber ride because it's like
what do you talk to about?
And then the Uber driver's
making fun of wrestling.
Yeah, he's dogging wrestling. Like, you guys ever been to Wrestlemania before? And
like,
Jeff's like, nah, man, never been.
And like he's like, yeah, you know, my kids used to like it, but you know, that's kid stuff. And Jeff's like, yeah, man, cool. It's like, never been to one. So like, you know,
You had an immediate in to talk to Jeff Hardy. You should have been like, hey man, ever been to Music Links and been around the ring before, right?
Josh Bishop did that.
Yeah. How'd that go for him?
He's like, I'll write deep lyrics, brother. That's literally how it goes. And then, you know, like, I'd never been to Bourbon Street before, so I didn't know what to expect. And like,
we got dropped off right there.
You get dropped off right in the thick of it with like one of the most recognizable wrestlers in the world. It's like a fucking. It was an insane like mob scene of like dudes just getting mobbed for photos, just people buying drinks, and like we're like, what the fuck? We've been here for an hour. And like, we're already out on Bourbon Street with Jeff Hardy. And like, you know, it gets a little overwhelming though. Cause like he gets just surrounded by people.
Yeah.
Like trying to people almost like trying to kidnap him. Like, come with me, dragging him every which way.
Screw you guys.
Yeah. They're like, fuck, you know, all these guys are like, fuck you guys, get away, you know, and like, we're just trying to like, you know, we took him out. So we're like, you know, we're going to make sure no one tries to kill him.
Yeah. Keep an eye on him.
And, you know, people are trying to like start fights with us because we're like, no, like he's fine. You know, like you guys could take pictures or whatever, but like you can't be like, they're like dragging him. They're like grabbing his shirt and stuff.
Come on.
Yeah, they're like, come on, Jeff, come on, come with us.
Flicking us off.
Yeah, like they're like mad at us because like we're like hanging out with them or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a very bizarre experience. But so that's kind of night one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I gotta say this because people like this. When he was taking shots, he was doing his little hand sign. So you know, people like that. But that's 100% true.
He was doing the
he was doing the guns.
Do the guns. Yeah. He'd
Right-
take a
right
shot
in-
and do the guns.
Yeah, right into a drink.
The Carson 8x10 post.
Yes. So that's night one. And
Go back. We're like, that was pretty crazy. Next day.
Yeah, while you guys were doing that, we were traversing the roads down and learned a few things. Weird Body, not a fan of Waffle Houses.
Oh man.
yeah, you guys had a much longer commute than we did.
Yeah, we I think we made the ride there in probably about 16 hours, and I drove about 12 of those.
Well, you lose an hour too. Because we're going different times.
Yeah, so maybe it was.
I think with our delay, I think we were totally traveling for like 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
What's your quote that you had there on the Twitter worldwide?
Which one was that?
Something about
Coffee, gas station coffee, minivan. Or
something about
Oh, so the open road, nothing.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I was just transported back in time to driving bands around and being in bands, and it was give me a minivan in the open road and some beef jerky and gas station coffee. I'm good to go. There it is. Because that's my move.
That's your
If you're
dream?
driving a long distance, you don't want to overhydrate because then you're just pissing all the time. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's true.
just drink that gas station coffee and eat that beef jerky, and
Cream and
then
sugar?
you're just a fucking dehydrated sponge creature.
Cream and sugar?
Are you ripping heaters while you're driving?
Oh, you know it. And Dr. Dan was trying to yell at me on the Instagram, being like,
Was it a no smoking car?
yeah.
Probably was. 'Cause they all
And
right.
I was like, I already told fucking Nate Dogg, Eddie Only, 8-Ball Boy, that I told him, I'm like, here's the thing. It's a $200 deposit if they pop us for smoking cigs. If we get popped, I got you.
Big money worldwide.
Yeah.
I'm not
Take
Get that credit line?
taking the
I
sig fine.
got $300 from Credit One. Credit One, leave me alone. Your website's very confusing to make an account with on the phone. Would not recommend Credit One. Capital One, you guys are doing solid by me, but Credit One, I'm not sure
I
about
like how
you
you're.
guys.
I like how you're willing to pay the sig tax on the. Not the
I'm
not the sin
fucking-
tax. The
I'm
sig
not being
tax.
in some fucking car for fucking 32 hours plus without being able to like rip some heaters, especially if I'm driving.
Did you get the full coverage insurance on that vehicle?
I don't fucking know, man.
Did you think about going to chewing tobacco for the ride?
Oh, hell no, that's just
Yeah.
disgusting. I'll do a lot of gross shit.
So
or like the patch for the ride?
No.
All right.
so Weird Body, not a fan of the stops.
Not a fan of the Waffle House because we stopped at one south of, like, north of Cincinnati, south of Columbus, somewhere in there. And, you know, he was like, whatever on it. But, like, you know, it was like such a, like, there aren't so many Waffle Houses up here in Northeast Ohio. So, like, me and Eddie were in the front seat anytime we passed one on the freeway, which became like every 5 minutes the further south you get. We'd see a sign and I'd be like, gotta stop, can't not. And like Weird Body would just lose his goddamn mind. And yeah, it just turned into this horrible game. Sorry, buddy. But yeah,
How many
we passed
Waffle
some time by just bothering the shit
How many
out of
Waffle
Weird
House stops did you make total?
Body. We ended up making 2. One,
Oh, that's not bad. You made it sound like it's going to be like 20.
no, but we threatened to stop at way more. And
Who's all rolling in this minivan? You,
let's
Weird
see
Body.
here.
So the Weird World in general.
we had the Weird World. We had 2 members of the production. You know, we kept it together for the ride.
Kayfabe, brother.
Yeah, we had Frankie Flynn. You know, we all had a place we had to get to, and then everyone can just fuck off. And then we also had Marino and
Tenaglia.
yeah, that. And Trey Lamar. And you know what? I see Trey getting buried on social media all the time for sleeping all the time. I was yelling at him to sleep, and he wouldn't sleep. It was kind of starting to piss me off. I was like, I was sold a bill of goods.
Was he being annoying?
No, he was fine.
He's probably quiet and checking his phone the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, we also
he wasn't checking his phone. He wasn't
cable
checking his
all the
phone.
way
He didn't
down
want. He wasn't checking his phone. He didn't want to run up that data, as we'll learn later.
One charger cable the whole way down.
I will tell you guys something else. The city of New Orleans, not a Boost Mobile town.
I can't imagine.
Not a Boost Mobile town in the least. I was finding Wi-Fi hotspots.
You have Boost Mobile.
Yeah.
You're literally the only person on earth I know that has that.
$25 a month, unlimited shitty data. Can't beat it.
Man, you live a life.
Unlimited data when you can get it.
Yeah. And you can get it a lot of places.
So you guys left on Wednesday?
Wednesday around 3, and then we arrived around like 6, 7 in the morning in the Dirty and Early. And I don't know, someone was complaining, I think, Spotso, about the NOLA shit. So I was
6,
like,
7
Dirty
in the
and Early.
morning, as in Thursday morning?
Yeah, Thursday morning.
Okay.
And that was annoying as fuck because by that point in time, I was having a good time driving. But like then also, fun fact about New Orleans, the service is really laid back and everything.
Yeah.
But people on the freeway there are out of their goddamn minds. Like everyone's like just fucking racing around, and they have like just.
I don't think I was on the freeway once.
Oh yeah, I was like losing it. Like, and so yeah, then we stopped at a Waffle House, and then there was a whole bunch of hullabaloo, and some brothers like stopped in, and like the whole time I'm like, all right, we need to find somewhere where I can fall asleep because I've now driven 12 hours, and we can't check in until 3, and then.
We had the Wrestlecon too.
We had the Wrestlecon load in at like 2, but in true wrestling fashion, that was not a hard 2.
That stressed you out.
That was a very soft 2, and I was like just stuck in the van, like in like the valet parking spot, just trying to act like I was about to pick somebody up. I had to like deal with security guys like 3 different times, and I'm like just checking in with you guys, being like, "Is it loaded in yet? Is it not loaded?"
Yeah.
We actually got some sleep. Yep. Woke up, went to the hotel gym in the morning.
Yeah. Who did we see on the elevator right after this whole Jeff Hardy experience?
So we're going to the gym. We're going to the breakfast in the morning, right?
Yeah.
This is just how bizarre this fucking hotel was. Like we go, they're like, oh, there's a breakfast buffet for $20 downstairs or whatever. So we're like, well, we don't know when we're gonna eat again, so let's hit this breakfast buffet. We go 1 floor, door opens. Gold dust, full paint, just walks right on the elevator.
Yeah,
like full,
no big deal,
just fully painted up gear, like the whole fucking leather suit, everything. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
like it's the most natural thing in the world.
This place was like a fucking Twilight Zone. Like it was just like, and like we all just look at each other and just try not to laugh because it's like, what the fuck?
I'm guessing he's getting ready to go to Access.
Not at 8 in the morning.
I mean, I don't know what time it starts.
He had to have
10 maybe.
He had to have some kind of appearance that day, but
pre-tapes, a softball game, something.
Yeah, maybe.
Just
full. We missed the softball game this year.
Just full paint, and we're like, what the fuck? So then we go to get breakfast. They sit us down next to Ric Flair, who is just fucking in his own world. He gets mad because they lost his credit card.
Speaking of that lax service.
Yeah, that lax service.
Damn card.
Yeah, he's like, where's my card? I got an appointment. Yeah. He starts freaking out because some waitress that wasn't his took his credit card and bill and then lost it.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Gotta keep your head on the swivel down there.
Yeah, he was fucking pissed. No pictures.
You didn't
try pictures at breakfast.
No pictures at breakfast, brother.
You didn't try to work a discount then for a meet and greet with Ric Flair while you were in person.
I tried. I mean, I tried to get a picture. He said, "No pictures at breakfast, brother."
He was ticked off.
See you at lunch.
He was pissed. He was pissed about this credit card thing. Yeah. Waited too long.
It's fair.
But like everybody's just down there walking around hitting that breakfast buffet. Sting. Yeah. No paint. No paint on Sting. Just gold dust.
Soul patch.
Indoor sunglasses on Sting.
Indoor sunglasses.
So yeah, this place is just bizarre, and we're like, fuck, like, we don't want to leave because there's so like every direction you looked.
Go to the Starbucks.
There's just weird shit going on. Like we like make a turn and we find like the fucking rehearsal ring is just set up, in a ballroom. It was like nothing I've ever experienced before. It was just like it was a zoo, like legends just walking around everywhere. It was insane. For like that was so we were like, man, this is gonna be a good trip if we just spent fucking $60, and we wound up having breakfast next to Ric Flair. This is a good way to start it off, and our first night on Bourbon Street with Jeff Hardy.
Sure.
It's only downhill from there.
Yeah.
So
then
then-
we get picked up. And
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
you
I was
get-
getting into a clown car. Rhino's just watching.
Oh yeah.
Rhino's laughing. We're like, dude, you want to get in, or what are you looking at?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
van-
he was popping for like we had 6 people in the car, and then we picked up 3 more
With
plus
bags.
some ludicrously sized bags. Josh Bishop, the fuck is the matter with you? That roller bag is too goddamn big. Do you let that in the car?
Josh Bishop sent me a message, and he wanted me to let everybody know any of these stories are allegedly about him.
well, no,
There's no allegedly about this
Big-ass
bag.
bag.
This thing was the size of a goddamn 747. I don't know how you got it on the fucking plane.
it was big, dude. Wow. I was like, brother, you got to go to the front desk because I bought the plane tickets and had him pay back. I was like, brother, you got to go to the front desk and pay for that because that ain't included.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's
What
just
the hell did he bring?
out of control. Maybe I thought maybe he
brought
packed his dad with him or something. I don't know.
He brought everything, and then he forgot his special Walemania shirt that he bought. So he had to send student Laurel to his house, who just got her license that day, who was flying to NOLA like later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
He sent her to his house and taught her how to break into his house so she can bring this fucking
Allegedly.
Yeah, on FaceTime.
Allegedly.
Yeah, he FaceTimed her and was like telling her like the codes to get into his house and stuff while his parents are.
Sounds like he had some really good reception in NOLA.
Yeah, he had some good reception in NOLA.
He doesn't have that Boost Mobile, brother.
Just I forgot his parents listen to this, so they're gonna know that he sent a girl in to break into their house to get him a fucking outfit.
Well, now it's not breaking in when he's giving her the codes and the acts. It's not like,
Josh is gonna get grounded after this.
he'll be all right.
Allegedly grounded.
He'll be all right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly grounded. That's the alleged.
But yeah, so we didn't have a car, so they have a van, and we're like, come pick us up. We'll go to the fucking Airbnb. Well, no, we go to WrestleCon first.
Yeah, we went to WrestleCon, dropped
love
stuff
it.
off.
I could tell that Worldwide was fucking getting real irritated with the text messages he's sending, and he's making phone calls. And
I was
you could
using full names.
you could tell he is on edge, right? And I see this van pulling up, and I go, our only saving grace is going to be if Worldwide is very excited that Machine Gun Carl Anderson is walking down the street right now, which he was excited for a brief moment.
For a brief moment, and then it was just back to
He just goes, holy shit, you guys see Machine Gun Anderson? We're like, yeah, man. And then it goes right back to him being pissed off because he sees the size of Josh's bag that he's got to put in this van. And
but eventually, blah blah blah. We load in at WrestleCon. We get the deal done. We get to the Airbnb.
We save Boogeyman first. We got.
Oh,
yeah, so we go to WrestleCon to load in, which Worldwide went to the Sugar Mill first, which further put him in a pissed off mood because there's 2 locations for the wrestling and the convention. We finally get to WrestleCon to load in at 2:00.
and if I could just say, people's inability to answer a telephone call when in a foreign city. And people are trying to make plans and get things done. And when you call 3 different human being individuals on their cellular telephones and they don't pick them up and they're also not responding to texts, how am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to feel?
I just remembered to give this context. So we get there at about 1:45. We're told load-in is at 2. We take everything up there. Worldwide is waiting in the van. This is going to be a very quick process. Well, we get there, and the WrestleCon room is nowhere near being ready. They have not been given access, so nothing is set up. So we have to wait about an hour and a half for them to set up all the tables while Worldwide is just sitting in the van alone downstairs.
I did an Instagram live video for about 45 minutes. That was kind of fun.
That passed some time.
We are literally the last table that they set up. We were the first people there. We're the last table to get set up. We finally get set up. We're walking down to fucking get Worldwide, walk right into the Boogeyman, also in full paint.
Yep.
Just a lot of painted up motherfuckers down there. And
You're hell.
we get a picture with he was definitely on his way to Access or something because a WWE car came and picked him up. We get a picture with him, and then we're off to the Airbnb, in which we see the Whole Foods, which is Dr. Dan's his landmark, and we go, okay, there's the Whole Foods Dr. Dan was curious of, and Worldwide goes, yeah, and then look there. Literally, that is a street that you would never, ever want to walk down in your entire life. And the GPS goes, turn left. And we go down that very street Worldwide was referring, or Weird Body was referring to.
This is Weird Body, by the way.
Yeah, Weird Body. He says, that looks like a street that you would never, ever want to walk down in your entire life if your life depended on it. And the GPS says, turn left. And sure enough, that is the street in which our Airbnb was located.
Yep.
And, man.
At this point in time, we meet, what's her name? Ava? We'll call her Ava.
Well, we meet about 8 guys that are just hanging out on the porch of our
Oh, yeah, there
Airbnb.
was that.
Smoking, drinking a little bit. Just
They
having
got
a good time.
they got the cans of beer out. They're just apparently our front porch of our Airbnb is just their neighborhood hangout.
Right.
So
good
we go.
time.
Someone goes, Dr. Dan would be having a heart attack right now because it definitely would have been a culture shock for him. We meet the Airbnb like lady who it's a woman who is. We rent it from a guy named Alex, which we later find out is on the run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He gave us a great review, though. So
he gave us. So he has this girl that lives above it, like taking care of everything. She lets us in. Weird Body falls madly in love with her. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yep.
But to fast forward a little bit, the next maybe the day after we were there, the county sheriffs show up, banging on the door. Which, this is Worldwide had his energy with him, so this is quite alarming for everybody in the home. They're looking for the owner of the house, the county sheriff.
Oh.
And this is one of his addresses.
Yeah.
And Eddie only has to explain to them that this is like a Airbnb, which they had
He believed these were actually cops this time, which was good.
Yeah. He said, he believed that they were cops, unlike when he thought that cops in Akron were fake cops.
Oh, yeah.
He recognized the sheriff's uniform this time around.
Good.
He knows about sheriffs now.
And he has to explain to them that this is an Airbnb, which they don't even know what that means. He has to explain that it's like a rental that they rent out for the week.
Yeah.
And they ask a bunch of questions. If anyone's seen Alexander, we say we have no idea. There's some lady let us in, and they go on their way. But we're off to the races then at this point.
So Airbnbs used to be not legal in New Orleans for whatever reason, especially in certain pockets. They were against it, and even so
Probably
much
just
as,
because of the tourism industry and stuff.
yeah, even so much as the last time the Wrestlemania was in New Orleans, it was not allowed, but people were still kind of doing it. But now what's happened is that this whole Airbnb industry, you have people coming in, and a lot of New Orleans still ravaged from Hurricane Katrina and hasn't been built back up. But people are coming in and doing nice things with these homes just to have Airbnbs. So they've since allowed it, and it's really just kind of...
Our place was top notch, to
Yeah, it was
be
pretty sweet.
quite honest.
It's-
It comfortably slept 10.
I don't know if
It's an
comfortably.
interesting place because everything still looks so terrible from the outside there.
I don't know if it was comfortably sub 10. Frankie Flynn slept in the bathtub.
Oh, well,
That
that's
was my
on-
choice, though, right? Didn't he want to do it? I don't know.
Must feel good on his back or something. I found a comfy place to sleep every night, but
I didn't do too much sleeping there either.
gonna
So
say,
I
like-
usually was a
You probably
7
spent about, 4 or 5 hours the whole time at the Airbnb?
probably total.
Total, yeah.
7:30 to 1:30. I think that was my average sleep time.
Yeah, I didn't get too much sleep, which probably was part of my health ailments.
Yeah, you gotta get the Z's, man. Helps the immune system. What's up, everybody? Alex Worldwide Kellar here to tell you all about at Thrift Store, Jobber, Instagram, Etsy, eBay, and etc., etc., etc. You know, back in 1987, Hulkamania was running gosh darn wild. And you know what? He had that yellow shirt, and he tore it in half. And did you know that apparently the old WWE Hef at the time, WW Hefe, they were selling these very such same tearaway Hulk Hogan t-shirts. That's right, it's the yellow shirt, neck's all cut out, it's ready to rip in half, but don't do that. I think this thing costs money. It's vintage. But you can find it at Thrift Store, Jobber, Instagram, Etsy, eBay, and etc. And let me tell you something, brother. If you use promo code Worldwide, you're going to get 10% off your order, dude.
So what was that? We were on Thursday, though, before that?
Yeah,
we go
Thursday,
To, Bourbon
so
Street, Kota Ibushi
we
asked
all-
you for a picture.
Yeah, we wash our faces, do our deal, and we hit Bourbon Street.
Like right away. 'cause
Just washing the face to refresh yourself, not because you have face paint on.
No, I had no face paint.
Just checking.
Yeah,
Not
we went to Bourbon Street like almost instantly, didn't we?
yet. Just about, yeah. We took that trolley, and the trolleys there are hilarious. And Weird Body's a big practitioner of using the old public transportation. And Weird Body was hot at the trolley. He's like,
He didn't even come with
didn't he
us.
not come that first
no, but
time?
he still used the trolley a couple times, and he's like, that thing sucks. It's like a bus, like because like cars in New Orleans don't give a shit about the trolley.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
cut 'em
we
off.
know you're gonna stop.
That was so crazy.
Like this thing moves slightly slower than a bus, and like half the time the doors don't work. It's beautiful, and it's only $1.25. It's great.
Yeah, I think
I put over the trolley.
I think we we went to Bourbon Street, and you see Kota Ibushi just walking down the street.
Yeah, Maserati West pointed him out, and like I was still like coming out of like whatever, and then I was like,
That really put you. That really put you in the
that-
good mood, though.
yeah, I was like, yeah, what the hell? Got a picture, got a nice little Mark Pizzy with fucking.
I don't know if you want to call it a Mark Pizzy. I think he wants to get in the Weird World Order.
I
Honestly,
mean,
by the way, the first picture you guys are doing the thumbs up. The second picture, he's like, "Who is this guy? Let me add him on Instagram. Like, tag me in these."
well, DMs are open, Coda. Anytime you want. I'm sure AIW would love to book you.
I think from there we met up with Hornswoggle and Grado at the Grenade place, and that just takes on a whole life of its own.
Yeah, and happy hour on that street is a real good time. 3
Shout out
for
to
one
Big Man.
drinks. You can't order a single on that street. It's just whiskey ginger triples, which is exactly my speed.
There you go.
I like it.
Shout out to Big Man.
Yeah, that gets that starts getting dangerous real quick early on.
So yeah, that's like from like 4 to probably like 9ish.
Yeah, 'cause
and
we
then
got that
we
balcony
headed
spot.
back
Yeah, we went to
change into
Walemania.
our Walemania gear.
Yeah, Walemania. We hit that. That was another good time. Not as much open bar as last year, but
No.
lots of weirdos walking around there like usual. We got our plus 10 at the door.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Trey Lamar, dummy, shows up to New Orleans, not 21, not with a fake ID, just thinks that he can get in if he says he can't drink, if he's not going to drink. He does not understand the ways of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's just turned away.
I had my monthly drunken conversation with Filthy Tom, where I just know I survived.
Yeah, Filthy Tom's there. We get like we got in, but we didn't have like the access, and then Hornswoggle fucking like I don't know, he pays somebody off or something, starts getting us back behind the fucking barrier, and there's all kinds of weirdos back there like RVD and shit. But
Mojo
really,
Raleigh
yeah, Mojo Raleigh's
talking
running
to me
around.
about Zubas.
Yeah, he was really promoting his Zubas back there.
Okay.
So MVP walking around. said,
Promo
"What's up
code
to
Burly
Eddie?"
Boy DD at Zubas.com. Save some
I
money.
had some sort of a conversation with Big E at the bar.
How'd that go?
Better than other conversations I've had at bars with WWE superstars. I think I'm a heavyweight man. I think that's what it is. Put me with the heavyweights. I'm right in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
trying to
that
think. I feel like I remember getting some really weird fucking looks from Austin Aries, who, by the way, is jacked as shit.
I'm sure.
That dude is fucking yoked.
Yeah, there's all kinds of weirdos in there, and then I believe you got sick of the prices, so you went to go meet up with
Well,
Luke
no,
Gallows.
fucking. Oh yeah, I went.
right.
I won't. Yeah, we left to fucking go hit up, hang out with Gallows. But here's the thing. Yeah, I was a sleazily attired, very drunk, energetic man, and I was at the bar waiting for some, Bud Lights. Politely, just had money in my hand. I wasn't like leaning in or doing anything weird. I'm waiting for like 15 minutes. Then Eddie Only walks up next to me, considerably less inebriated than myself. Also very polite, knows how to exist at a bar. And then he waited another 15 minutes with me, and I'm like, they must have a problem with motherfuckers from Cleveland or some shit, because I'm trying to spend some fucking money on this place, and they're not giving a shit about me. They're not giving a shit about you. Let's go hang out with Luke Gallows. And so we did.
One thing I did remember is I'm like acting as if I'm Hornswoggle's dad back there, because people are buying him shots and stuff. I'm saying, I know he's got this Saudi Arabia gig coming up. Like I was tipped off to it. I was like, hey man, let's take it easy on the shots. There's a lot of eyes around here. You don't want to lose your opportunity before you got it. And he had some other stuff that he did that probably can't be talked about as of yet. So he does a shot with Jamie Iovine, and he goes, oh. And then he reaches up and holds my hand like he's my child. He goes, I need to get to the bathroom. And I have to like cut through all these people holding Hornswoggle's hand. But I go, I can only take you this far, brother, because I don't have one of those special wristbands and you snuck me back here. So the bathroom's right there, man. You gotta make it the last 10 feet on your own. And that's the last I saw him for that day.
We connected with Grado on Bourbon Street earlier in the day, and I was like, "Oh, see you at Walemania," and he's like, "Oh, see you there, big man." And
He never was.
the big man was not seen.
He didn't show up.
Yeah, he was a no show. I don't know what happened to him Thursday night. You guys went out with Gallows.
I got pizza. Me, Bishop, and Marino. And
Yeah, we all go back to the Airbnb. You went off with your own crew.
We walked back from the bar with Gallows and picked up 24 Coors Light skis on the way back, and then I think the evening chilled out from there.
Yeah, and then Friday morning, bright and early, first day of Wrestlecon reporting.
Not me.
Who was working the table?
I went, and I don't know who. Weird Body went with me the first day.
Okay.
Me and Weird Body went first day. He did the first shift, and then other people came later. But and that was the day we had Bruce, and he had his guy with him and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Bruce was cool though. He drew a lot of attention to the table. First day, which is really all you can ask for in there because
Sure.
there's a zillion more famous people than me in there that people would rather buy stuff from. So Bruce definitely got people over to the table and looking at stuff. We killed on Chandler's old magazines at Wrestlecon. Those were like that was like the hottest sellers going.
Great.
We're
Sad to see him go.
we were right next to Colt Cabana and Marty DeRosa. Marty DeRosa gave his body to the Biz that weekend, made his in-ring debut. He's very excited. I kept asking him if he was going to go coast to coast with a color job down there. And WrestleCon's a fun time just if you're like a fan, just to walk around and just witness all the weirdness, because there is plenty of weirdness to witness, and it's just like that's the shit that I love. Like Gold Dust getting on the elevator with you in full paint, like that's the weird shit that I love. And if you just walk around WrestleCon, you're gonna experience something weird like that. Then about halfway through the day, sure as shit, Psycho Sid Vicious walks right through the front door, and I could not believe it. And Colt Cabana immediately just starts in on him, like screaming from across the room, AIW wants their money back. And he just acts like he doesn't hear it. And Cabana did that for the remainder of the weekend every time Sid walked by. And one time Sid just gave him like a look, like a television spot. Like he just looked at him, and I think like you could see Cabana's soul exit his body. Oh, wow. But yeah, I mean, and nothing too crazy to really talk about at WrestleCon.
No dust ups this year. Like we missed Hide and Wreck last year.
Oh yeah, no, there was a dust up. DH Smith.
Saturday we had the coffee.
Yeah, DH Smith threw. Threw coffee in Jake the Snake's face. I didn't see it, unfortunately, though.
I guess it's all good now. Jake is dropping it, so
I saw all the charges were dropped. They had a phone call, but that was the hot the hot story going around, and I was totally hungover, and Sonjay Dutt and Josh Matthews made me appear on the TNA Twitch channel at like 8 in the morning, which caught me off guard a little bit. But it was a good day, a good weekend actually at WrestleCon.
Yeah,
I said, that day finished it out at WrestleCon, and I think did we just reconnect at?
I think we went right back
Bourbon Street.
Yeah, we went to that burger place in Grado.
Yeah, burger place. I wasn't eating much.
Bayou Burger. Grado got that fucking deep fried burger. And we hit Bourbon Street hard for a couple hours again.
what does somebody like a Weird Body eat?
Weird Body.
Okay, here's the thing. All right, wait. Let me tell the story of Weird Body. All right.
Yeah,
if
this
anyone
needs to
out
be
there
said.
has ever seen Bad News Bears go to Japan,
Yeah.
all right, you remember how the kid with the motorcycle, he just fell in love with like that like Japanese girl and like completely ignored all activities of the softball team for
Yeah,
the most part
Kelly,
for
wasn't that
like
his
the
name?
entire movie.
Yeah.
Didn't even get to fight Inoki or anything. Well, that was Weird Body. and the Airbnb maid. And she also had a son who I am ordered to shout out. He's a SoundCloud rapper named Flames Bond.
Flames Bond on SoundCloud.
007.
All right.
Yeah, he's a good dude. She's like a great lady.
Weird Body literally left the Airbnb one night.
And that was a wild night with me. But
Well, and he left to go do the first shift of Wrestlecon because everyone was hungover and sleeping.
Yeah.
And he just stays up. He stayed up all night with the Airbnb woman and like helped her. He went to like the job across the street with her and like cleaned the boxing gym with her and stuff.
What the hell?
And he was just awake. He was awake when I woke up. So he's like, yeah, man, I'll go to WrestleCon. Fuck it. Let's go. He's like, I was like, what were you doing? He's like, oh, I was just hanging out with the Airbnb girl all night. He's like, I'm really into her. You know, I like her. And I'm like,
they were definitely on the same wavelength for a lot of things. For sure.
but she
She
had
did
the
his hair
chill.
one day. Amazing.
Yeah, she did his hair. She was doing photo shoots with him. It's very bizarre.
What?
Very bizarre things going on at this Airbnb.
You might be losing your tag team partner there, pal.
He left her email, but I don't think she emailed him.
Oh, man.
She's afraid of love. I understand.
Yeah, so Weird Body, like he only left the Airbnb two times: the WrestleCon day, and then the day that Worldwide and Frankie Flynn ventured to a different part of town, away from the rest of the group.
Yes.
Yes, we had a day. But yeah, so we did Bourbon Street up again, and then we ran
Spring
back,
break.
Did spring break.
got in spring break gear.
And I was
gear.
in.
I caught up with you guys briefly on Bourbon Street before you went to spring break.
I don't remember that, but
You were outside smoking. It was grabbing grenades and everything. I was passing out flyers for the comedy show with
Oh, yeah?
with
Yeah.
Swoggle.
oh wait, is that when we bumped into Corey Graves?
I think
Yeah,
Was
right
that
before we
Thursday?
left.
Yeah, Graves, I think,
We
was
spotted him. We
Thursday.
spotted him on a balcony one
Yeah,
day.
Graves was Thursday for you guys.
Okay.
Friday, and then you finally were like, I think I'm going to go back and get a nap because I got spring break later.
But we never
I
napped.
need
We just
Yeah, there
stayed.
was no nap.
We just kept drinking those grenade drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open container, man.
That's
That open
deadly.
container really throws you for a loop.
For sure.
Friday night ends up being, this is probably the night that nearly kills me.
Yep.
We have to take Grado back to his hotel. He gets into like an altercation with the Hurricane because the Hurricane like said he's a shitty worker or something, and Grado was like,
Confronts him.
he confronts him. He's like, "You really hurt my feelings, man." And like I guess they exchanged some words.
Oh yeah, Trey Lamar was doing the good brother thing and designated driving us.
Yeah, he DD'd us. That was probably the only time I was ever on the highway. We get dressed for Janela spring break. We are fucking hammered.
We got the Tito's in the car.
Yeah, so while Grado is getting his gear, I just walk and I find a fucking a liquor store, and I spend way too much money on Tito's and Gatorades. I spend like $80 on a bottle of Tito's and like 10 little Gatorades. It's like it's such like a fucking just tourist trap fucking whatever. But I was like, fuck it. I'm on vacation. We're going to spring break. So
It was like a half-hour drive.
it was like a half-hour drive, so we were like car barring it all the way out there. And
A lot of energy, a lot of alcohol. I was on some of that On It shroom technology.
Yeah, those work.
yeah, Worldwide was on all sorts of supplements.
And I was dressed fantabulously.
Amazing.
You're dressed for spring break.
Amazing.
I was ready to go.
I had a nice Hawaiian shirt on, and yeah, we get there, and man, what an event that Janela spring break is. Overwhelming. There's like 2,000 people in there.
Right.
All these fucking weirdos running around backstage.
And that locker room was insane.
John Thorne, let me ask you this. Who is Ron Funches?
Oh, that's my commentary partner. I
actually know who he is.
I had no fucking idea who he was.
I have no clue who it is still.
I had no idea who he was, but I don't think he liked me very much.
He is a comedian. He was on a TV show for
Somebody said he's on Bob's Burgers or something.
Yeah, he's a voice on Bob's Burgers, but
He does a lot of like comedy podcasts
and he did a show. He's a huge wrestling fan, and he actually did some training as he lost. He used to be much larger. When
All I know is like at one point it went from I'm commentating the whole show with Drew was like, fuck it, me and you, let's just do the whole show. And I'm like, okay. And then like other people started like micromanaging it and like switching it around. Then it turned to like me and Ron Funches when I was like, that's weird. We don't know each other. We're not going to play off each other at all. You know what I mean? And then like we commentated for like, I don't know, like 2 minutes. Then they sent Drew in to like moderate. So like me and Drew just commentated a lot. I mean, Funches was having fun with it. it was just some people were like really mad at me on Twitter though for like, I don't know.
Some people were loving it though.
Some people loved it. Some people didn't get that. Like, I was drunk because it's like a party atmosphere show.
is, yeah.
Like it's spring break.
Midnight.
Like
The show
I'm not
started like 12:30.
Yeah, it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. Haven't slept, and I mean, it was the clusterfuck match. It was a fucking bizarre fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was really fucking drunk.
He was
I prepared for this role.
he was on a show on NBC with Chris D'Elia for a few seasons called Undateable. It's a good show.
Whatever.
I
I don't know. I don't know who the fuck he is.
I definitely.
Just
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah.
I remember almost nothing wrestling related from spring break too. I was just brothering around and being around the people.
There's a lot of brothering going on in there.
There was some hard brothering, like in the freaking locker room. Like I was
That's the only
getting
time I
looks
saw
from people.
Dominic Guarini the whole weekend.
Yeah, just about.
Swamp Saturday night.
Oh yeah,
Swamp Saturday night.
and at the swamp.
Swamp Saturdays.
Yeah, I hung out with Dom and Davey Vega and people for a bit.
I saw all kinds of people I haven't seen in a long time. There.
Yeah, and there were people like just giving me looks like, "What the hell are you doing out here?" And I was like,
They know you, brother. So this is like the longest day, right? Friday.
Yeah.
It's like long. And then Nate Webb is like, let's go to fucking Bourbon Street
This is what, like 3:30?
at 3:30 in the morning. So like my phone dies, but like we go to like Worldwide, like, yeah, let's just walk around Bourbon Street and just see. You know, and like everyone is like ready to go to bed. You know what I
walking
mean?
around Bourbon Street at like 4:30, 5 in the morning. That's like that Bourbon Street at 5 in the morning looks like coming down from mushrooms. Like it's like just like this melting, dirty thing.
It's just everything's
gnarly.
wet.
I saw
and you
guys-
can just see people like the cleanup crew starting to come around, but then there's still all these leftover
And there's like
drunks, and then
there's
other
like
characters.
There's like bums like getting food off the
It's-
ground and like
Yeah. There's
We're
a
like-
couple bars that still have a couple people in it.
So we're walking and we're like, okay,
we did a lap, and we were like, "No, Nate Webb."
yeah, no Nate Webb, and then sure enough, he appears from the shadows, and then we're like, fuck, now we gotta stay. So we go to this cool little dive bar right off of Bourbon Street called the Alibi.
Uh-huh.
We end up drinking there. It's like me, Worldwide, Eddie Only, and Laurel of all people, out until like 7 a.m. Oh, Trey Lamar was there, and then later we find out because all our phones die, right? And we find out that poor Frankie Flynn,
He was in the back trunk of the van.
he was stuck in the trunk the whole night because this is a new van and it's got child locks or whatever.
Yeah.
And like when the key fob is there, you can't open any of the doors.
And
for
we
like,
tried to do that from the inside earlier, like on the first day, and like alarms started going off and crazy shit. So like he knew not to do that.
we didn't know, so we all got out of the car. Like we're all drunk except for Trey, and we went to Bourbon Street. And then like the other crew there that didn't want to stay out, they just took Ubers back.
Yeah, we got out of there.
We're drinking with Nate Webb all night at this bar. And he's buying shots, and I am not doing shots of straight Jaeger. I give it to Worldwide, and that almost ruined Worldwide's night.
Almost.
That's the only time in my life I ever saw Worldwide almost puke was doing back-to-back Jaeger shots.
That in the 40-ounce man of the year competition.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
But yeah, just from distance drinking, yeah, that was like almost laid me low. But yeah, Nate Webb's the dude. And also that place was great because another thing about New Orleans, I know I kind of look like Michael P.S. Hayes, but goddamn did I get it left and right in freaking New Orleans. And then there was like this old dude working behind the bar, and then this like 60-year-old blonde bodybuilder lady who was great. I was like, pardon me, miss, but you have a really great physique. And she's like,
Worldwide. This is the other part of the weird world falling in love.
yeah, well, we haven't even got to Saturday night yet. But she's like, well, I used to be a bodybuilder, but now I just have 16 horses. And I'm like, so just horse shit no matter what, huh? And she's like, oh, yeah. So this other guy.
Worldwide with the lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, this other guy, he's like fucking like probably like 60 something, like old dude. He's like, man, you know who you look like? You look like Michael P.S. Hayes. And I was like, oh, thank you, dude. He's like, I remember one time I was working a bar down here about 1986. There was some bar fight broke out in the back, and the Freebirds were in the front. And they're like, you want us to take care of that? And we're like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want, man. So they come out, 2 dudes to each man. And Terry Gore's like, where you want him, boss? And I'm like, where the fuck you think? Outside. And they fucking clapped him up out there. And then I bought him shots until about 7 in the morning.
Yeah, New Orleans is wild, man.
It's
Who
it's good that it's all the way down there and we're all the way up here because
I'm never going back again.
Yeah.
well, we gotta get to the fact of the matter
I
time.
enjoyed it.
I was around you for most of the weekend, and mind you, my recall isn't great, but we have not ruled out the possibility that you, in belligerent John Thorne mode, didn't yell at the wrong human and get voodoo put on you.
I could have got a voodoo curse.
It's
For sure.
honestly, that was like my big theory going forward.
I don't think I didn't get into yelling with stuff though.
No, yeah, you were pretty actually you were kind of tame, Thorne. It was weird.
I was very like relaxed because like it was like steady drinking. It wasn't like wild drinking.
Yeah.
You know, I was just keeping everything copacetic all the way through Bourbon
Something
Street.
with those grenades. Too.
Those grenades, though.
It's like a weird drunk.
Yeah, it was like
I
a weird
avoided
drunk.
those grenades.
Oh, I had about 20 of those fuckers.
Yep.
Make
And,
sure to have one grenade. That's what I had with you guys.
That's
when
a
I
bunch
popped
of
in.
that's a
Smash
bunch of
grenade.
sugar I don't need in my
So
life.
this turns into like the worst day ever because we're out from Thursday or Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And then I look and the sun's up. My phone is dead. I ask somebody what time it is, and they're like, "Oh, it's 7:45," and I'm like, "Fuck, I got to be at Wrestlecon at 9," and I've not slept at all, and I'm still fucked up. So I make my way to Wrestlecon, and I do the whole shift there, and fucking.
Me, you, and Bishop.
Oh, I do half of it because then I go to the Bruce Prichard show with Swoggle and Grado.
Yeah.
Which, you know, there's all kinds of fucking weird shit happening. Saw Funches again back there.
All right.
Double J.
Double J, I saw him. You talked to him about his Hall of Fame a little bit. JBL, fucking Jerry Briscoe, all kinds of fucking people. Grado turns the corner. The Hurricanes there night after their little altercation. But they end up, you know, talking and, you know, everything's good. And then fucking... You know, me and Grado fucking wander around Bourbon Street, get some food, split ways. I go back to the Airbnb and I'm like, okay, I'm like dead.
Yeah.
And then I start falling asleep and then everyone's like, we're going out, let's go. So I was like, fuck it. Let's go out. So we're right back out to Bourbon Street on Saturday night. And that's when
Oh yeah, we went to we took a posse of people to that Shimmer show
Oh yeah.
at the WWN building. That was a fun little show. You know, it was just sort of like very hungover viewing of a nice women's wrestling show. Everything seemed cool. And then me, Flynn, and Weird Body, we got dropped off at this bar because Street Fight, those brothers from Columbus, at Murder Brian and all that, they were doing a live stand-up show, like, or comedy show at this bar. And we checked them out. And if you ever want to see a great freaking stand-up deal, it's like tag team stand-up. Great shit. Drew like probably like 80, 100 people somewhere in there. Good times. And then there was a possibility that we were going to go hang out with them at Kaiju Big Battle. But just the whole concept of doing that ride again and all that, we were like, nah. So I like was made aware by some friends that there was this bar. It's like kind of like a punk like gay club in New Orleans called Poor Boys, and it's owned by this dude named like Matt Muscle or Mike Muscle that like loves Cleveland. So I like met some girl like down there, and she said she was throwing a dance party down there. And we went, and it was freaking awesome.
Well, now I'll tell you that I realize when I wake up in the morning that I must have slept through something fucking ridiculous because I look right to my right from the bed I'm sleeping in, and Worldwide is in a pull-out couch in between two women. And I go, God only knows what I slept through last night, but I'm so glad I did not wake up.
Most of it went down in the bathroom. It's really nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
I've gotten some interesting texts since then. I might have a wife in New Orleans. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think Saturday's the night that we went to the swamp or whatever for the TNA party.
This is something I just forgot about. Me and Bishop, we closed down Wrestlecon Saturday, and we met up with Gringo Loco, and on the way out, we ran into Just Incredible, who had a couple stories for us about him and Undertaker partying on a plane.
Oh, man.
It's wild. But then we got back, and I don't know like if this even sums up the Airbnb lady, but we started, getting a couple mixers going, a couple Tito's, and the Airbnb lady just showed up like she had to do laundry right when we popped the bottle. And she goes, let me get a cup. So she starts partying with us, and then says she can drive us to Bourbon Street, which was an absurd ride, and probably shouldn't have done it with her. But then that's when we met up with everybody, so had to throw it.
Yeah, that was quite the weird experience from what I heard.
I remember being at NXT and getting text messages from Josh Bishop. Oh my God, I think our Uber driver's trying to abduct us.
Yeah. Oh, that was a weird ride.
50 plus minutes supposedly is what the
She
rumor
took us
says.
around everywhere, and definitely shouldn't have been driving.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting snaps during that, and I was like, who is it? He's like, the Airbnb lady. And I'm like, yeah, she's just smoking blunts and giving us a tour of the city. And we're like, I was like, just take the ride, man.
So grounded.
Yeah, she was...
It was her, not him.
Yeah, he was not in control of that situation. That's not his fault.
But that's where...
Can't put hands on an Uber driver.
Right. That's
Especially when they're your Airbnb host.
The swamp is where we
That's
kind of...
where we met up at the swamp.
We
yeah.
all randomly
It was like the
collected
impact.
there.
Yeah, those are like the TNA party.
Yeah.
I think you guys told me that's where you were at. You're like, we're at the
Yeah,
swamp
'cause
with
we
Eddie
saw
Kingston.
Kingston and LAX, and Gringo Loco just kind of led us towards the swamp, and that's...
You know, that was a whole scene in there. That's where we run into David Arquette.
Yep.
He's getting his energy straight off the bar.
Yep.
Sure is.
Like
Ready
just
to rumble.
Ready to rumble. That Tommy Wusu guy was in there with him.
Yeah.
The fucking disaster
From The
artist,
Room?
or whatever
Yeah.
his name is.
Zigman.
Yeah, all kinds of just randoms in there.
Yeah. A lot of people going through there. I'm like seeing them like, this guy's got something. They've got something to do tomorrow. I don't know
Shout
how
out
much
to
they're
all
partying.
shout out to all the fans that brought me bottles of Tito's at Wrestlecon, because I got quite a few actually, which was awesome.
They're all gone now, I would imagine. Or did they
The
make their way
fucking
back?
Airbnb lady got into some of it.
There you go. The swamp was great. We also saw Dominic Guarini there.
Yep.
Met up with him.
Oh
hung
yeah,
out.
he was in there having some brews.
Yeah. I walked up, Dominic Green with a bottle. Hey, shout out to Andrew Jones, AIW
Yeah.
fan who
That dude was everywhere.
his last AIW show, he left his wedding rehearsal dinner for. It ended. He came there, then got married the next day, which I think was actually Gauntlet for the Gold. And then we see him down at WrestleMania,
That dude was everywhere.
which was essentially his honeymoon. And yeah, he was great. I think bought just about everybody a drink at some point, probably.
More coverage than Boost Mobile, Andrew Jones.
Absolutely. Shout out. He's now got a new life in Texas, so we won't see him at the AIW shows much anymore.
I think then we just went back to the Airbnb, and that's when I woke up and I discovered Worldwide with the Women.
Yep.
I go to the last day at WrestleCon. It's pretty uneventful. Just slow day kind of. Alabama Doink and Grado become very good friends on Sunday.
Why wouldn't they?
But Alabama Doink was in like a Quang uniform. I put it on my Instagram. It was his other gimmick.
Yeah.
Like one thing I just remembered is Alabama Doink walked by our table, and I go, Alabama Doink, big fan, brother. He goes, let's make money, baby. Let's make money, baby. And I remember he was at Janela spring break, and I just kept going in his locker room going, Alabama Doink, big fan, brother. He goes, well, usually I get a lot of heat, brother, but I appreciate that. I go, let's make some money, baby. He goes, all right, baby, let's make some money.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And then that was really it for WrestleCon.
Did you ask him why he never responded to any of Chandler Biggin's booking requests?
No, I didn't get. I didn't get into that with Dwayne. Didn't get into that.
That's good. That's good stuff.
So now we're on Sunday.
WrestleMania takes
the day.
It's really just like we do WrestleCon, which is amongst the things we did much better than we did last year. So
Yeah.
I think maybe if I'm alive, we'll be back. We'll be back again next year for sure.
Bring the pins this time too.
And you fuckers forgot the pins. I had some pin sales lined up. You motherfuckers. And then
Well, you're gonna be in the van next year because no flights for you.
yeah, no flights. I gotta go get. I had to go get my WrestleMania tickets. I had to go meet up with Kevin Owens' dad. So back to the fucking hotel for me.
All right.
That's where they were at. And then everyone just decides like, hey, like we're gonna go to WrestleMania. I offer. Josh Bishop wins the contest because I kept losing things and he kept finding them.
Yeah.
Like really important things like my wallet or my pants I couldn't find for a while.
Oh, those
Jeans.
jeans.
got him the ticket.
Yeah, Jeans got the ticket because I was like, where's my
Josh
fucking
and Laurel
jeans?
were getting into it over. He's like, she's like, I cleaned him. He's like, I found him.
Yeah, because they got put in the washer and dryer.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know. I was like, "Where's my fucking jeans at? Like, what the fuck?" Josh Bishop looked
Too
in the
much
dryer.
initiative. Sometimes that's a bad thing.
Yeah. So, so Josh Bishop wins the free ticket, but then everyone decides they're going to go. Trey Lamar does not want to go because here's an interesting fact about Trey Lamar. On Saturday night, when it was raining, and he once again came to Bourbon Street with us, knowing he could not get into any bars.
Yeah.
He walked around for 4 hours in the rain, trying to decide if he wanted to use the data on his phone to download the Uber app and also pay for an Uber ride home. This is how cheap Trey Lamar
Mind
is.
you, in 4 hours, in actually 1.5 hours, he could have
just
walked
been
back
back.
to the Airbnb.
So this is what disqualifies Trey Lamar from getting the free ticket, because I look at him and I say, brother, this extra ticket isn't for free. How much data do you think I'm going to fucking drink at WrestleMania? You got to be prepared to spend some money. So he's disqualified. So then he says he's not going to go to WrestleMania because he accidentally spent $50 at Whole Foods up the road buying himself a meal and not knowing that they charged him by the fucking weight of it.
Obviously, Dr. Dan's fault.
Dr. Dan's fault. Frankie Flynn gets disqualified because he brought $30 with him for the whole trip. So once again, there's going to be a lack of free drinks for me.
Yeah.
But then I offer to buy them tickets, and they'll pay us back. They'll pay me back. So Eddie Only just goes and they buy like a big block of tickets. We pregame a little bit at the Airbnb. Worldwide and the Weird World decide that they're going to throw a party at our Airbnb and not go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, we hung out with Murder Brian and some DSA guys and just chilled and watched the event. Well, Weird Body slept until probably about, I want to say like 8:30.
He's a sleeper, man.
Yeah.
He is a sleeper. And so me and Josh end up going. We have some pretty good seats. We're sitting like Kevin Kleinrock is sitting behind me and Rory Gulak, and then like in our row is like Senior Benjamin was in our row, which was weird. And then like our row clears out like almost completely. So I text everyone. I'm like, hey, like, why don't you guys do a sneak down and we can all sit together. So everyone ends up sneaking down, and we got to sit together at WrestleMania because none of the other seats in our row were taken.
Yeah, that was
That's
solid.
great.
Yeah, that was solid.
And then we leave WrestleMania. We get split up, so we decide like let's go back to that WWE hotel because it's like right next to it, and let's get like a like that's a good landmark to meet up at.
Yeah.
And we'll wait for Uber rides to go down, and we get some drinks at the bar, and I start seeing people I know, and Ember Moon Athena was like walking by. She comes and gives me a hug, and I'm like, "Are you going to the super secret WrestleMania after party?" She's like, "Yeah, so are you. Come with me. You're my +1." So then I get into that, and that's just a fucking whole weird experience that I didn't expect to happen. Open bar. I wish you guys could have saw Johnny Gargano's face when I was walking through there with 2 Tito's in my hand in the fucking exclusive WWE party, because it looked like he saw a ghost.
He may have.
And
He might have been dead at that
so
point.
I hang out with Shayna and Jessamine and Rhonda for a little bit, and Cedric Alexander and Chris, like all kinds of people I knew were in there. Ray Rowe, Dolph Ziggler, but it was definitely weird, like because you're just looking around and it's like, oh, there's Shane McMahon, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
There's Roman Reigns. This is a fucking weird experience because it's like super hard to get into.
Yeah.
Like it's super high security to get back there and everything. So I was like, what the fuck? And so that ends up being a fucking night. After that closes down, I just get myself an Uber and I go to Bourbon Street alone. I run into Joey Janela and Penelope. I buy them some drinks. Then I keep walking. Then I run into the dude that owns Gorilla Mall out in California, who's a former Cleveland All-Pro student trainee. And he's there with Jay, the guy that we did the bachelor party for, Bachelor Party Pro Wrestling. And we go to that Nate Webb bar. We end up fucking drinking there for a long time. And then I Uber back home about, 6 a.m. And,
Yeah, Sunday was very much my cool down day. It was also the first day that I ate food in 3 days.
Oof. The only thing, I stayed at that hotel when you we stayed for a little bit. The only thing that was worth noting was ran into David Arquette again, and
Oh yeah, he walked by again.
he was just hanging out.
Yeah, David Arquette was actually in the WWE party.
Maybe he's getting another run.
Maybe.
Who knows?
And then everyone kind of Monday, everyone parts ways. We had to stay an extra day for travel. We book a hotel. It's not the WWE hotel. It's like some other hotel.
Yeah.
We just do some casual drinking and walking around, and then Tuesday we travel home, and that's when my shoulder starts hurting, and I start experiencing these symptoms that later turned out to be fucking
Voodoo onset pneumonia.
voodoo. But our first flight, that was like every WWE person ever was on there.
Ran into Jeff Hardy again.
Yeah, saw Jeff Hardy again, gave us some hugs.
Yep, more hugs.
Alicia Fox was on that flight. I didn't let her get off the plane in front of me. We cut her off. She was like next to, it was like you come to that that like there's two people going,
Right,
and
right.
I cut her right the fuck off.
See ya, Alicia Fox.
Yeah, I was like you were mean to me the other night. I'm out of here. And then we came home, and that's when, like, by the time our last flight happened, I couldn't even move my arm. Wes Barkley's carrying my bag for me. I couldn't lift it up.
Yeah, you're struggling.
It was a rough time for me. And then later, as we now know, it turned out I had very very, very serious pneumonia, in which they have no explanation for. So maybe the voodoo curse is a good explanation.
I don't know. We had, let's see here, Monday. Yeah, I'm going to look. I don't know. Yeah, Monday we made the drive back. And, the first time around, I only did 12 of like the 17. And this time around, I thought I'd tag out sooner or later, but I just did the whole 18.
Yeah, once you
And-
get cruising, right? Because I did the same.
Yeah,
time,
I
man.
had a great fucking time and hit like some nice deliriousness throughout the evening. And just like jamming tunes and hanging out with bros in the van.
My trick is, for whatever reason,
Jerking off?
sunflower seeds. Constantly chewing on sunflower seeds.
Weird Buddy handed me some
Like,
sunflower
keeps me
seeds, but
awake
I
for
forgot that there are shells, so I just like ate a fistful of them and just started
Oh, you're trying
chewing.
to like, swallow them?
Yeah, I just swallowed a bunch of them.
Yeah,
But I got home and just took a shower and slept the sleep of the just.
go.
Yeah, well, I tried to sleep off whatever happened to me, and it didn't happen. But that's pretty much everything in a nutshell.
Moral of the story:
a lot.
can't wait till next year.
I don't
New
know.
York, New Jersey, get the fuck ready.
I don't know if I'm going, dude. I almost died this year.
Like I said, man, get in the van.
I'm not flying next year. No.
That's an easy drive next year.
Yeah, 7-8 hours.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much covers everything. Most things. There's a lot. There was a lot.
There's a
went
lot
down.
that shouldn't be said.
There's the highlights for Wes Barkley.
You had a show down there, didn't you?
We did. It was I was so mad with the venue, but that's okay.
All right.
You live and you learn.
Everything's fine.
Next time.
So for Wes Barkley, Alex Worldwide Kellar, Dominic Greeny, who made some appearances, John Thorne, my name's Steve Guy, and we'll talk to you all next week, everybody.
Let's make money, baby.